You asked and we delivered. The what? No way guy, Shawn Umscheid, is back and he's joining me for round 2. But this time, you called the shots. And Browning unleashes its latest lineup.
When I knew it was coming, I was beyond excited to see it. So when we first laid eyes on it, Winchester did an incredible job.
I've got the Outdoor Lens, the Wild Woman's Handbook, and the Untamed Times. We've got all the stories you can't ignore. This is Wild Talk.
This episode of Wild Talk is brought to you by Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Bronc Beer. Great fucking beer. And Wild TV Plus. Stream the best outdoor adventures on all your favorite devices. I'm your host, Steve Hamilton, and you are watching Wild Talk. We are back with more Wild Talk. You guys gave us so much great feedback on the last episode. We asked him to come back. A huge thanks to Shawn Umscheid, the What No Way guy. Thanks for joining me, Shawn.
You betcha. I had a lot of fun last time, so
it was.
I wasn't about to say no.
Yeah, that's awesome. We posted it. The views went through the roof. No doubt, a huge part of your reach. But the comments we got, bring them back. Where's part 2? We want more. We want more. So we kind of left it in the viewers' hands this time. Got some great questions that
awesome.
You have not been prepped for. So
yeah, that'll be interesting. I love being put on the spot.
So let's say we just jump right on into this. If you're ready
you
for it.
betcha.
Okay. So we got a great question here. This one's kind of related to hunting. It says, what's the craziest what no way moment you've had while hunting?
I guess I've been chased by a deer before.
Oh, dig into that one a bit.
So yeah, I was this was years and years ago, and I was hunting with some friends, and we were hunting the coulees around home here for whitetail, and so we came up on this one coulee, and we see a whitetail across the coulee. So my buddy he ends up shooting it, and so the thing lays down and everything. We thought it was done. And we got up there, and I was the first one to get to it. So, like, you don't just like grab an animal usually. Like, you usually give it a poke with your gun, right? Yeah. Just to make sure. So I was the first one there, and I gave it a poke, and the thing stood up.
Oh no.
And so we're on a fairly steep coulee, right?
Right.
And we're on the cattle trail, and it's laying right on the trail. And so I get up to it, and I poke the thing, and it stood up and looked at me and just put its head down and started charging at me. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So I turned around and I go to run, and my buddy was behind me, and he's bringing his gun up.
Oh,
and so I just dove down the coulee
okay.
and heard a gunshot, and and that was that. So that was probably one of the most crazy, I guess. I don't know.
So having to hit the ground that quick because there's a rogue deer that's wounded, and you don't know if you're going to get shot or gored. This one kind of ties in with it, I would guess. Did you ever end up in a situation where you thought, there's no way I'm getting out of this?
That was one of them.
Yeah, no doubt.
I thought for sure that, like, when I turned around and ran, I was like, I'm sure I'm going to get hit in the ass with some antlers here. And it was probably a good thing that my buddy was behind me and, like, getting ready to shoot, because otherwise it probably would have ran into the back of me. So. And for anyone that's listening, it's not like I turned around and there was a gun pointed at me. Like, he was like on, like, get out of the way, and then I dove down the hill.
Yeah, there was some presence of mind there, like,
Get out of the
Yeah,
way. It's coming.
yeah, we were safe about it. Yeah.
If you had to pick a hunting partner from any movie character, who would it be?
I don't know. When I go hunting, I like to have fun. So, um, like, like, it's not real serious
Of course,
when
yeah.
we're out hunting. So I would want to take someone fun with me. I think it'd be fun to take Ace Ventura hunting,
Yes.
right?
That's a cool spin on it.
I mean, you ain't gonna get anything. You're gonna
No.
have to argue with them the whole time about why you're hunting with them.
Yeah.
But it would be fun.
Yeah, that's definitely not one that would have been in my thought process, but now that I think about it, I see where you went with it. Do you have any hunting rituals or superstitions, like a lucky charm or something?
Not not overly. I got a couple things of my like I got my grandpa's knife
Okay.
that I carry with me. But yeah, I don't really have any rituals or anything really like I mean when you're out there and it's colder than hell, you're praying something comes out so you can go warm up. But that's about yeah. I just carry my grandpa's knife and that's kind of the big thing for me. Like especially when I'm hunting out in the bush, that's what my grandpa used to do too, right? So
Right.
it's kind of I didn't know him that well, so it's kind of I have my talk with grandpa every time I go hunting.
Okay. This one should be pretty easy. What's your favorite animal to hunt?
Whitetail deer.
Figured as much.
Out here on the prairie, it is like the bush guys, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the guys that hunt bush because I mean we hunt bush for elk and moose and all that stuff, and I get it, it's hard.
Yeah.
But when you got a whitetail out on the ball prairie and it sees you from 2 miles
Yeah.
away and starts running, that's a challenge to try and figure because you have to know where every single slough is around in that block and wherever, and you got to figure out which one he's going to, and you have to try and get over there before him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like the challenge of the whitetail. It's and I mean they taste delicious in my opinion. A lot of
Definitely.
people say differently, but
No,
um,
completely agree on the taste. All right, this is a cool one. How did your following respond when you posted about your successful elk hunt?
I think we kind of went through
You
that
did a
like
little bit.
on the last one. Yeah, it was split. Like, I mean, we had the people that, hey, congratulations, like you're feeding your family and stuff like that. And I mean, I that's why we're hunting. That's all we eat is wild meat. So the it was split a lot between congratulations and basically you,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. Eh? Pretty much.
Um, just like when we post our deer pictures and stuff like that, we lose a lot of followers, and then we pick up a lot of new followers.
Exactly.
And the 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 good thing about it is the new ones that we pick up are the ones that are going to stay
That's right.
because they're starting to follow because of the hunting and then they see the other content and maybe they like that, maybe they don't, but they're like I think that there's even if they don't like my other content, they want to see what kind of
They're there
like
for
hunters are dedicated to anyone that's posting about hunting.
yeah,
So they'll stick around the whole year and wait until next year to see what I post about hunting again.
bingo. Bingo.
And that's a great thing about it. And like I say, anyone that unfollows us, we usually just say like, oh, it's not someone we want
That's
following us
right. That's
anyways.
right. You're being authentic to yourself and your way of life. And if they want to see that, bonus. If not, well, it's no real big loss, right?
Like I love all my followers, but you don't have to criticize me about how I live my life.
That's right. That's right.
Like I'm just a guy like you are, right? I'm living my life and we hunt for food and I don't need to be criticized about it and told that I'm an asshole and I'm raising monsters
Mhm.
because I take them hunting. No, I'm raising kids that when the world goes to shit, because it's going to happen at some point, maybe not in our lifetime, but you need to know how to survive.
That's
So
right.
my kids, they'll be able to survive.
Yeah.
And on that note, my oldest son, he finally decided he wanted to step up from the 22, and
Love
he's
it.
like, Dad, I want to shoot the big gun.
Love it.
Yeah, so we had the 243 out, or yeah, 243, and he's like, "Does it kick?" I'm like, "Oh, it's not bad." And so he just put it up to his shoulder and pulled the trigger, and he's like, "That was awesome." So so yeah, that was good. But yeah, yeah, we're really split with our followers. You either like it or you don't, right?
That's right. That's right. And like I said, the good thing is you're authentic about who you are, and that's the most important thing. When I follow somebody, I'm like, okay, you can always see if it's an act that's being put on, and I think that's a huge draw to your content is people are like, wow, this guy's a little rough around the edges. This segment of Wild Talk, I am joined by Ricky from Browning Winchester. They've got some incredible new products coming down the pipeline, and I want to dig right into them. But first, Ricky, a huge thanks for joining me today.
Hey, Steve, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's just jump right into it. Talk about some of the cool products you got coming down.
Sure thing, Steve. So, the last couple of years with Winchester, we've launched a handful of new products, particularly in the rimfire market. So, about 2 years ago, we launched the Winchester Wildcat, which was our semi auto version of a rimfire.
Mm-hmm.
That's been received exceptionally well in Canada. So, we've done very well with that. We've then since added the Winchester Expert, which is our bolt action rimfire rifle. Also well received. People still seem to gravitate a little bit more towards the semi. This year at SHOT Show, so 2 months ago, we launched a couple of new calibers for rimfire. We launched the 17 HMR in the Winchester Expert, which is extremely exciting. We
Mm-hmm.
also added the 22 WMR, or Winchester Mag, as I like to call it, and most people probably do.
Right.
On top of that, the 21 Sharp, which has been a new rimfire caliber that's been announced. We are chambering the Expert in that as well.
What I really like about the rimfire is one, they're accurate, they're cheap to feed, and they're so good with getting the next generation of shooters out there behind us, the kids. I love that you guys have jumped into that market with it. What was the inspiration behind that?
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there, Steve. When it comes to that outdoor world, whether it's hunting or just shooting or just spending time outside, kids are the future, right? So we want to make sure that a lot of a new product could cater to them and allow them to be successful when they start to shoot, right? So the Winchester Wildcat and Expert as examples, they are composite stocks. We do offer a sporter or wood version. They're fairly light, so as adults we might find them to be I don't want to say too light, but they're quite small in stature. On the Expert and the Wildcat, we offer two accessories: a length of pull extender and also a comb extender that raises the height of the comb. So for larger shooters, it's still comfortable. But at the end of the day, we wanted something that if a parent or family member bought it for a child, they'd be able to take care of the box and be successful with it. So the Wildcat, as an example, comes with peep sights, which I'm personally a huge fan of. I think it's the best way to teach somebody how to shoot. Child, adult, doesn't matter. I think it teaches a lot of good habits.
There was one when I was cruising the website that caught my eye, and that's the Ranger. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure, definitely, Steve. Before I get into the Ranger, we also launched two Target laminate stocks on the Winchester Expert at SHOT Show, which has been missing in our assortment. But yeah, let's talk about the Rangers. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's been a couple of years since I first knew the gun was in the works. Like you, growing up, shooting and hunting my whole life, I've been fortunate to have a couple of Model 94s as a kid. Your standard 30-30. It's got so many scratches on it, you've lost count. Some of them might have hash marks counting the amount of deer they've taken with it, etc. So when I knew it was coming, I was beyond excited to see it. So when we first laid eyes on it, Winchester did an incredible job. It looks just like a Model 94. It's got the barrel band. It's got, the nice, standard basic looking with stock. It was a home run. I can't wait for the general public to get their hands on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia in that style of platform, and again, going back to when I first learned to shoot, it was the 22 and the old 30-30 with the loop that just there's something about it that grabs you, and if you had the chance, it's an absolute pleasure to shoot them. They're accurate, they're fun, and there's just something about the old cowboy style, for lack of a better term. I haven't shot a lever in years, but now that we're talking about it, it's hey, I miss my grandpa type deal, right? And it's just so much fun, and there's nostalgia that surrounds this platform. I'm stoked to see it coming out. Like I said, my kids graduated to a 243, so I might be able to try and say, well, no, she needs another 22, but in all reality, it's going to be for me. And I think we're going to see a lot of men and women of our age group and older that are going to gravitate to this because it's that hit of nostalgia that comes with the lever action.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and I also echo your comment about justifying why you need another firearm. I've given up justifying it a long time ago, and it's now simply because I want it. 'Cause
Yeah, and I think I'm there too. It's a nice thing to say that I'm trying to justify it when all reality it's here's the credit card again, and another one ends up in the safe. And I'm lucky that my wife and my daughter absolutely love coming to the range, and I can go here. I can get a side eye, but there's never any questions about another one. It's just cool. So awesome, Ricky. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, hearing about the new products coming down the pipeline, and I know that a lot of people watching this are going to be excited when they finally see that Ranger on the shelves. So a huge thanks for joining me today, Ricky.
Thanks, Steve. It was a good time.
This is called the Outdoor Lens. It's a segment where we put the spotlight on some incredible nonprofits in the outdoor space. So today, for this one, I'm going to be joined by Kyle Stelter, the CEO of the Wild Sheep Society of British Columbia. Kyle, welcome to the show once again.
Awesome, Steve. Awesome to be on here.
Let's jump right into it. Tell us all about the Wild Sheep Society of BC.
Awesome, buddy. The Wild Sheep Society BC is dedicated to BC's wild sheep and their habitat, and we put our money where our mouth is. We've got 1,600 members, $735,000 this past fiscal for wild sheep projects across the province. Do the math on that. That's about $450 per dues-paying member. Your average membership is $60. That's a pretty good return on your investment. So we're really proud of what we're doing. We bring money in from outside the province to invest in our ecosystems, and we're doing our best to make a difference for wild sheep and all wildlife across the province.
When you guys do something like a burn, like a prescription burn, cultural burn, what's involved in that, and what kind of habitat happens there, and what other animals are affected?
Yeah, obviously the focus and our mission is around wild sheep, but clearly other animals benefit. So, on those grasslands where we're burning and restoring the natural ecosystems, elk are benefiting. Ironically, we're seeing bison up there. It's crazy, man. There's bison. Awesome. So, that's one of the things we advocated for was a survey to look at it because bison were encroaching on wild sheep habitat because it was benefiting them as well. So, that's one of the trade-offs is we've created this new habitat for wild sheep, but now we're seeing elk and other species up there as well. So tons of stuff, but obviously stuff that as hunters we love to hunt, but tons of other species are benefiting as well. There's all kinds of stuff that we're doing to preserve habitat. One of the examples is in Granby. We were part of a land acquisition there, and obviously benefited the bighorn sheep in the region. But badgers, which were, they're blue listed in British Columbia, rattlesnakes, a whole bunch of other species benefited. Stuff that we don't necessarily hunt, but we're preserving it for other species well above and beyond wild sheep.
So for those that don't know, somebody wants to become a member, how do they do it? Where do they find you?
So wildsheepsociety.com. Memberships are as low as $50 a year if you buy a 3-year membership. But again, what you're doing is making a difference for wild sheep. Your $50 membership is going to translate to roughly $450 per member, and that's through the great work we're doing. But come to one of our shows. We've got a Northern Fundraiser, which is in Dawson Creek in February. We've got our Salute to Conservation and Mountain Hunting Expo in Penticton, and we bring in experts from all across the hunting industry to teach you the latest and greatest about mountain hunting. So wildsheepsociety.com. And the one thing about it is that you don't need to be a sheep hunter. There's lots of people in our ranks that, less than one, right?
Yeah.
So lots of people but they're really passionate about what we're doing to restore ecosystems for BC's wild sheep and other wildlife.
Awesome, Kyle. Thanks again for joining me today, and keep putting those sheep on the mountain.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Mail from Ahia means that there's going to be a firearms course soon. The night before a firearms course, I always go through my entire kit to make sure that I have everything available for each student. Now remember, all of the firearms used in this course are disabled and they are for instructional purposes only. So we do have the pump, we have the bolt, we have the lever, we have the brake, and we have the semi-auto. I have additional brake here that is a fully breakdown model. I then go through my pouch to make sure that I have all the different types of ammunition, the shells, the slugs, center fire, rim fire, the full metal jacket, the boat tails, all of that kind of good jazz is all in here, making sure that your class and your experience is as complete and full and as educational as possible. When I'm setting up for a firearms course, I like to come early, set up, make sure the projector works, make sure all the class materials are out and ready, so that as soon as any participant comes in, we can get in, have an inclusive environment, and we can get right to learning. Okay, so when we're handling a loaded firearm, if we're passing a firearm to somebody or I'm passing you a firearm, what are you going to do?
Ask and prove.
Right. Krista, what's A?
We're going to assume that the firearm is loaded.
Good job, Ashley. Erica, do you know what C is?
Control the muzzle direction at all times.
Awesome. Brandy, do you know what T is?
Trigger finger must be kept off the trigger and out of the regard.
Awesome. Keely, S.
See that the firearm is unloaded, prove it's safe.
Perfect. Krista, let's try you again with P.
Point the firearm in the safest available direction.
Good job. Luca, R.
Remove all ammunition.
Brianna, O.
Observe the chambers.
Chloe, V.
Verify the feed.
Good job. And Keely, let's try you again with E.
Examine the bore for obstructions visually with a rod.
That's right.
Welcome back to the Untamed Times, your daily dose of wild news. I'm Kara Jorgensen, bringing you the latest in the great outdoors. And with summer right around the corner and fast approaching, it is time to sign your kids up for the AHEI Youth Hunters Education course. There are many different date options, including June 29th to July 4th, July 6th to 11th, July 13th to 18th, July 20th to 25th. Kids will be educated in Alberta Conservation, Hunters Education, and the Canadian Firearms Safety course. The Wild Sheep Society is hosting a horn aging and field judging rams educational classes, with multiple dates as well, such as Kamloops, June 14th, Comox Valley, July 5th, Abbotsford, July 8th, and so many more. Check out their website to find the closest location to you. Ducks Unlimited Canada is hosting their annual Duck and Run events across the country on June 21st. You can sign up for a 5K or 1K walk or run to help conserve and restore Canada's wetlands. With many different locations such as Long Point, Ontario, Calgary, Alberta, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and so many more, you can sign up by going to their website and finding a town near you under events. This wouldn't be an episode of Wild Talk or The Untamed Times without some wild clips we found off the internet, so let's see what we've gathered up.
I'm gonna get across. I'm gonna get my... Look, my trousers are getting dirty. Look at the state of my feet. I've got to try and get over there.
Oh my gosh.
I am on a remote island on the edge of the Gulf of Alaska at the very top of the Pacific Ocean.
We're doing our best this year to keep you up to date with the CPRA events happening near you and across Canada. So let's take a look at the dates coming up. Thank you so much for joining me this week on the Untamed Times. Remember to download the Wild TV Plus app in the App Store to your devices so you can stream anywhere at any time. And follow along Wild TV and Wild Talk's social pages. Thank you so much and stay wild, friends.
Do you fish? What's your favorite one to catch if you do?
Yeah, I love fishing. I just can't seem to find enough time to go and do it as often as I'd like. One of my favorite things to do is ice fishing. I absolutely love it. And I was telling my kids all winter, we're going ice fishing and we haven't been out yet. And then summer fishing, rainbow trout's my favorite.
Right. You ever done saltwater?
Yeah, I have been saltwater, caught a bunch of mahi.
Oh, awesome.
And then what was it, 2 years ago, we went fishing for sturgeon out in Lillooet.
Okay, last one of the hunting. What's your bucket list? Any animal, anywhere, price is no object.
Probably, this is a tough one because I really want to go like Alaska or Yukon moose hunting. I'd love to do that, but I really would like to go to New Zealand and do a red stag hunt.
Yes, that would be a cool one. Next one is about Sick Week. The road trip you just did. So for those that don't know, give us a little bit about what Sick Week is. I'd never heard of it until I saw you.
So Sick Week it's kind of like the Super Bowl of dragon drives. So what a dragon drive is, if you can relate, if you've done like poker runs and like poker rallies on skidoos, stuff like that, like that's how I kind of related it to people. So for Sick Week, we raced at 4 different racetracks and over 5 days. So we started out at South Georgia Motorsports Park. We unloaded the car, and then we have a small trailer that we drag behind our Chevelle. And that has to have everything we need in it for the week. So once we unload the car and we're set up, we have to park our hauler off, like at the other end of the property. And then you race your car, and then you go and you switch it into street mode, and you have to drive your car to the next track and then race it at the next track, and then you do that through the whole week. So the first day we raced at South Georgia Motorsports Park, and then we had to switch the car over to street mode, and then we had a 6-hour drive to Bradenton, Florida. So my car isn't bad because it's still fairly street car, right? Like full interior, it has all that stuff, and like it has comfy seats. It doesn't have AC, but like there's cars that are like 4,000 horsepower, like they're true street or true race cars, like pro mods,
Right.
and they're driving them 6 hours on the highway.
Oh, the fuel mileage. Okay, so you've just completed an epic road trip to Florida for Sick Week. Were there any what no way moments on the road?
Oh, there was lots.
The laugh says it all.
A lot of them were the weather, like on the way down. Yeah, I guess on the way down there, the biggest what no way for me was being from Alberta, and like we know how to drive in crap weather, right? So like when I got to Billings, Montana, and I mean there's 6 inches of snow overnight, and I'm like, yeah, this is nothing. Everyone in Billings, Montana knows how to drive in that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep continuing south, and I got to Nebraska, and it wasn't bad there, but it was when I got to Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay.
And I pulled in there. It was late at night, and it was calling for snow the next day. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like, I thought it was kind of strange for that area. Yeah. And so I wake up in the morning, there's like, I don't know, an inch of snow maybe. And so I head down the road, and I had to go to a company that built me my wheels, RC Components. And I was going there to get my car measured up for the wheels that I was getting. And I get there, and he's like, yeah, everyone's leaving for the day. And I was like, why? He's like, well, this snow, it's going to shut down the town. Like, schools are closing and all this. And I'm like, really? Like, it's only an inch of snow. And he's like, man, we don't get this here. I was like, yeah, I guess. And so after being there, and I was like, okay, I'll just keep moseying on. The roads aren't that bad. And I got through Nashville, and I had a lot of people say to me, like, it's not that the roads are crappy, it's that the people don't know how to drive on them.
Right.
And I was coming up to a corner, and everything was going fine, and a car went flying by me and just slid through the lane in front of me. And I was like, nope, that's enough for me. I said, I don't need to be ran off the road. And
this is kind of a cool one. I'm sure you'll be able to talk about quite a bit. It says, huge congrats on your licensing. What was that process like?
The licensing, that was pretty cool. Like, so I went to Frank Hawley's drag racing school down in Gainesville there, and he puts on just a awesome course. And so you can license, he has different things you can license in. So he's got a super gas car, which is a door car.
Okay.
And then he's got super comp dragster. And I did both of those because we're hoping to get our Chevelle up to fast enough that I need a license. He's also got an alcohol dragster and an alcohol funny car that you can get faster licenses with. And it's a pretty cool, like, it's a 2-day course. Every time you run, he's recording it. So then you go back in the classroom, and he goes through everyone's run and tells you what you basically did wrong.
Okay.
He asks you questions, and he already knows the answer, so he just wants to make sure that you're going to tell him the truth. But yeah, Frank, he's he knows how to teach. We ended up booking time with him. Like once we got down to Florida, we had a track rental at Gainesville, and I asked him to come out and kind of watch me with my Chevelle in my own car and give me advice. And but yeah, if anyone wants to go get their license, you don't even need to go race. Like it's just such a good course, and you come out of there with a different perspective on how to solve problems.
Right.
Like it's not all racing. It's changing your mindset of doing things differently, right?
Did Cletus ever get back to you?
Yeah. So I am going. I will be racing in the Freedom 500.
Awesome! Congrats. I love that. There was enough of us tagging the hell out of him that hopefully he got it, and obviously he did.
Yeah. We actually this morning I got my car number and all that stuff. So we're just finishing up plans, and I got some more videos that we're gonna shoot, kind of relating to it and stuff after pulling my Crown Vic out.
I was gonna say, hopefully the Crown Vic video is the one that put him over the top.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He got tagged, I bet you 10,000 times.
Easy.
Like
that was
it was
crazy
ridiculous.
To watch the people rise up in your favor. Cool. So last segment. This is normal stuff, I would say. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food, lasagna is pretty good, or like chicken Alfredo.
Yeah, good choice.
My wife makes an awesome lemon chicken.
Oh,
it's one of my favorites.
This one is from this one's from a friend of the show. Her son Riker. Riker's 10, 11, 12 years old. Riker has the most epic mullet I have ever seen.
Okay.
He wants to know how long you've had your mullet.
When did I start doing this? We're going on 4 years now.
Okay.
So my wife, I don't know, hold on. This will kind of relate to the story.
Sure.
So my wife made these stickers. And this is a trademark sticker.
Yep.
And you can notice the long hair in the sticker. So now I have to have, it's the likeness, right? I have to have long hair. I used to cut my hair short. I had short hair for years and years and years.
With it.
And then I grew it out for winter, I guess. Like I'd always let it go a little bit longer, and then I cut it into like a mullet. Like I had the sides shaved and everything, and I just left it to keep going. And then she made that sticker, and I'm stuck with long hair now.
That's awesome. What's your favorite What No Way blooper that didn't make it to the channel?
Like me and my wife keep joking that we need to have a camera like on me all the time for the stupid that happens. Like even when I was coming in here to get set up for this, and I tripped over my phone charging cord and it was like slow-mo. But the one that we kind of laugh about or go back to, I was cooking cheeseburgers outside, and it was super, super windy. And like the barbecue kept blowing out, so I kept turning it and everything. And it was just one of those days where like I hate the wind.
Yeah, prairie winds.
Yeah. So I put the cheese onto the burgers on the grill. And while they're on the grill, the cheese is like blowing off.
Oh man.
Because it's so windy. And so yeah, after I finally get the burgers cooked, and I got them on a plate to bring them in, and the wind like basically blew them off the plate and onto the ground, and then the dog ate it.
Oh no.
And I like screamed "What No Way" when it happened.
Of course.
And I was so mad because they looked so delicious.
You've had a ton of viral moments, but what's been the most memorable one for you?
I think that like the bucket video, that one kind of really stuck out as being the best video.
Then just jam it in the crack where it's stuck.
What? No way. Makes it so simple.
Like, it's always the simple things, and you just... I got these buckets. They've been stuck together for like years. And like, I still use the top one. I like to use the bottom one too. Let's try this. All right, let's see. Each. Just a sec. Oh, I'm gonna be mad if this works. What? No way. Now I got 2 buckets to use. Right. But most recently, like trying to get into the Freedom 500.
Yes.
That kind of showed how many people are behind me and stuff like that, right? Like when I watched the video that Cletus like, oh, we got 1 extra spot, and who do you guys think? And like I was on the fence of whether or not to do that video, because I didn't want it to seem like I was begging to try and get into it.
Right.
And there was a few people that commented that, oh, you're just begging to use Cletus and this and that. And I'm like, no, like I've actually raced it. I think it'd be fun to go and race all these guys. And so when I put that out there, and like you get 10,000 likes on a post in a day, and like 2,000 comments of people tagging, trying to help you get into something like that, really, it was I don't know, it might seem corny, but that was a special moment for me when I seen the amount of people that got behind me and trying to help me get into that race. And it worked. And then he started commenting on my posts, and then I got the call that I'm going to race in the Freedom 500. So I mean, that's probably like the most recent one.
Yeah, I like that, because it's got to be validating when you realize that people are not just scrolling and mindlessly hitting that like button. They're actually listening to what you're saying. They're engaging through your video and going, hey, this is a genuine appeal here. The guy truly cares. He wants this. And then...
Yeah, and they took that 30 seconds or whatever to tag Garrett and help me out. Like, that means a lot to me.
I bet. Do you ever worry that you'll run out of what no way moments?
No, there is never gonna be, like, even if it isn't hack videos, there's always stupid stuff that are what no way moments, right? Like, and that's what we're trying to do, some different things on the page, not to get away from the hacks. We'll always have hacks to post and stuff like that, but at least there is the what no way moments, like when you can watch a video and like, we got some stuff that we're planning with this Crown Vic, and I want people to watch the video and be like, what, no way, he just did that with Crown Vic. Like, not so much just, oh, what, no way, it's another hack. Like, we want to start posting more long form stuff that people can scream what, no way at the TV or whatever a few times through a longer video and be entertained that way.
Awesome. I think that's a perfect way to end it, Shawn. A huge thanks for joining me again. I'm sure the people are going to want to see a part 3. We'll definitely keep in touch, and can't wait to see the next evolution of the what no way guy and the racing that comes up with it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on, and it's always fun to come on and talk with you. It's such a laid back conversation, so I really enjoy it. And yeah, we'll do a part 3 if the people want it.
Awesome. Thanks again, Shawn.
Awesome. Thank you.
This episode of Wild Talk is brought to you by Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Bronc Beer. Great fucking beer. And Wild TV Plus. Stream the best outdoor adventures on all your favorite devices.